Hello. Hello, hello? Hello. Yes, I believe I am heard. I hope I am heard. I'm just gonna move. Nope, not that. I would just like to position myself a little better here. Also, chat, you're coming with me as well. Hello. How's everyone doing? You're pondering, we are getting philosophical. I think this is the first stream where I actually get to use this wonderful overlay that was made for me by Neem. So, hello. How's everyone doing? I understand there's not too many of you in chat right now, but that is fine. So, as you can... how should I say? Well, okay, so today I expect to be a bit more of a chill stream than usual. As you can see, we are not playing Monster Hunter, for one. Honestly, we might not be next time either. But, words I'm looking for. So, some of you may recognize this wonderful art on the screen. This is Philosophy-san, who is a personified version of the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences Department of Philosophy as made by Mo on her first solo stream. That was not her debut. And if we scooch over here, we also have our good old friend Business Daddy, who is made in the same stream. And I should probably ask Mo to give me everything she has on these and anyone else. But the reason I have this wonderful art that, you know, that was created by my genmate in front of me is because if any of you watch my debut, you would know I am a lover of trading card games. And so I had the bright idea of why not take... I have two business daddies. Oh, yeah. Anyway, why not take, you know, this wonderful art we have and my own love for TCGs and smash them together into something wonderful and cool and maybe marketable. I don't know. But yes, today it's gonna be chill. This is basically a glorified just chatting, let's like work together stream. So feel free to come in and out of chat, give me suggestions, tell me I'm doing something terribly wrong, or lurk. There's absolutely nothing wrong with lurking. But yes, this is going to be This is going to be me running my mouth for probably 2 hours or so. So let's see. But before I get started, I'll just let people roll in and mess with my own settings a little bit. Yeah, so. Am I doing things terribly right? I hope so. I'm also hoping I can actually stay on model for once, you know. If things get crunchy, I will bust out the old PNG, but for now we live. So yeah, I guess. Anyway, anywho. Just gonna mess with some settings. Yes. We live, we live. I'm just gonna do a thing. How's everyone's day? I know it's Friday. It's a Friday night. I understand that you all probably have had places to be or are coming back from places to be. Cool. Okay. That hopefully fixed something. I'm gonna double check. It did. Yay. Okay. So, well, let's get started. I'm honestly, okay. I don't have a very concrete plan for today, but I do have a couple things to do just in case, you know, things get a little too boring. But first and foremost, we're gonna, okay, it's like a good, also we are in Figma. I may not be a designer, but I can Figma, I think. How does one make a board again? I just gotta make a rectangle, right? No, it's a rectangle. How does one make a frame in Figma? Ah, it is wondrous. Oh, there's a frame tool. Haha, yes, of course. I knew that. I totally knew that. Oop. Back. Okay. Ooh. I actually do not have keys to Jingle at the moment. Sadly. But, okay. So first things first, like any good trading card game, we need rules. Because like my original thought with this, right, was similar to the thumbnail, which that was Fanart actually. Big shout out to Italian Cannolis. I don't know if he's in chat, but I was thinking of making like Magic the Gathering proxies, right? Just, you know, making cool looking cards. But then I realized that's not very interesting. And so I thought, yeah, you know. I can game design. That is what I do. That is sort of my trade. And we can be like, hey, SFU card game. This might be something you might do in a game design class. 312? Maybe. 410? Bigger, maybe. We don't know. You could probably convince someone in 313 to do this as well. There's a lot of courses where you can make card game in. So, I don't know. Sneak peek to those outside of SEAT into the mind of project work. Yeah. I'm gonna also reset my pose. Whoop whoop. Alright, so let's get started. So before we actually make the cards and what they look like, and which I think that's actually the fun part, we have to make the rules. And it's honestly just gonna be a very messy sort of like rules brainstorm. Yes. Okay, so I'm thinking, I thought about this throughout the week leading up to it. I need to, okay, I'm going to try and provide as much context as I can for people in the chat who do not play card games, because that feels somewhat necessary. I'm going to slide chat a bit more down. But yeah, so, what I was thinking is we make this a sort of, every card game needs like a framing device, right? Like Magic the Gathering is like your planeswalkers, your wizards slinging spells at each other. The Pokemon card game, you're putting Pokemon in a Pokemon battle. And if this is going to be a competitive multiplayer card game, how can we possibly generate a conflict or a game of some kind with SFU faculties as anime people? Now my thought immediately was we make this a sort of Avatar-based game, not The Last Airbender, but okay. Let's get a big old text box going. I want to make the text nice and big so you folks can see it as well. I hope you folks can see it. Yep, general rules. Okay. So let's. I was thinking Avatar based game, like the One Piece TCG, like One Piece. Is it safe to show you my Google search? I taking a risk. I will not take a risk, actually. But yes, the words. What are words? So the One Piece TCG has what are known... Hello, Vitri. Hello, hello. Welcome. You are just in time to see me try and create a card game. So close to seeing... Yeah, you see, I thought about it. I thought about it. And I thought, you know what? Let's not give you folks that right now. But, okay. So, this is for example. One Piece TCG has these things called leader cards. Which, for example... Fight. Oh, what? That is mildly inconvenient. So, the One Piece TCG has these things called leader cards. They look like this. And basically, this is a card that doesn't, like, go into your deck. This is you. It's a card representative of you. And basically, each leader comes with its own rules, its different win conditions, its different abilities. And I thought, you know, that would kind of be appropriate. Basically, you play as Philosophy-san or Business Daddy, or maybe, you know, that's kind of the... I don't know how many people get this reference. There used to be a card game called Buddy Fight, and in that game, what it was is you basically declared a flag, like the name of a world you fought for. It could be to that end as well, where it's like, you know, you're declaring allegiance to your own faculty as an anime person. So you fight for their sake and their sake alone. But either way, some kind of avatar leader-based game, I think, is appropriate. Then that's as far as my general planning actually went. And then you play more Philosophy-ons. Maybe. It's like, you see, it was the mental image of, like, if this is, like, some sort of competitive game, right? Where it's two faculties fighting each other, which, let's be real, as much as the faculties themselves are cool, I know some students have beef, right? It's like, I'm not sure if it was appropriate to have, you know, Phil-san punch Business Daddy in the face, right? Like, that felt a little weird to me. But like, you know, instead having them as leaders in a whole deck of cards that do things that punch each other in the face seemed a bit more appropriate. That was just my thinking. Yeah, after our base game, now I kind of got to go into, so like card types is like a subcategory of that. So obviously we have avatars, which are like the faculties. And so I guess we got to think of like what goes into a faculty. Like obviously we have courses, and that can be a card type. It would be kind of funny if like, so Magic the Gathering does like mana, right? Where it's like you get land cards that generate mana, and every time, and you can use mana to cast cards. It would be kind of funny if like, if the course card type, right, where it was like, it had prerequisites as a cost. Profs make sense. Now I'm a little, again, I'm a little hesitant to make profs fight each other. If we could generalize like a faculty experience into, I'll still write it down, just as an idea. Profs, and I guess like students to that regard. I guess just units of some kind. I feel like that's kind of where our cost gimmick is here. Obviously, this is going to go through a lot of testing. if I can actually print a deck. Basically, my goal for today, I should have mentioned, my goal for today is to sort of make 2 starter decks, if that makes sense. Yeah, props can be a little scary for personal, so it's like, but yes, my goal is to make 2 starter decks. I want to make a Philson starter deck, and I want to make a Business Daddy starter deck. So I could actually print those out and give one to Mo, and we could test it. Or I could give it to anyone on the stream team to test for. So we're going to try and get enough of a general rules down, as well as a cards type. And card text, at least. In case you haven't gathered, I'm not an artist either. So, well, okay, I'm not an artist in the traditional sense. If you want me to make installations, if you want me to make weird, funky contraptions, I can do that. I love doing that. If you want me to write, I can do that. Yes, yeah, exactly, Vitry. That's Vitry. I hope I'm saying that right. But that was kind of my thinking. Basically, 5 different Philsons. We will see. We will see. Okay. Now, obviously, I kind of don't want to just make this a rip of like an existing card game. Like it's very easy to like reskin an existing game to just have SFU things, right? That's what Magic the Gathering Secret Lair is. You want SpongeBob SquarePants and Magic? Well, that exists now. So, yeah, you could do that. But no, we want something a little bit more dedicated, a little bit more SFU-y. SFU-y? Okay, so let's just think about like what equivalents. So avatars, essentially, right? These are your big guys. They're like leaders, in One Piece, they have their own effect. Declare what cards can. Okay. Put in. Okay. I'm about to go on a bit of a card game design rant. To the whole 12 people watching the stream right now. So just brace yourself for this. Now, obviously, in trading card games, there's this like concept of archetypes and stuff, right? There's some cards go better together with other cards. Some cards are meant to be played with other cards. But there are some games where basically down to the very deck building rules, right? Say if you do this, you are only allowed to put these cards in the deck, right? For example, the one a good chunk of people, I think, at least in the Western world, know that play card games is Magic the Gathering. If you play Commander, right, which is a game mode where you have a 100-card deck, you pick one Commander creature, right? And you can only have cards in deck. Magic creatures have colors, right? They're anywhere between 1 to 5 colors. And any card in a Commander deck has to share a color with, or has to be within the colors of the commander. So if your commander is a red and white creature, you need to play red cards, white cards, and red and white cards. Nothing else. You can't play black cards, you can't play red and blue cards, you can't play green and white cards. They have to be red or white or red and white. Or colorless. That's like the big generic we need a generic category. Okay, I will figure out what the generic category is. Electives, maybe? Right. Now, so back to rant. I have never had a qualm with the, how Commander limits their deck building like that, because the colors are a very, very wide category, right? Like, every card in the game can be categorized under the 5 colors or colorless, right? It's never super specific. It's never... It's not saying if you select this one card as your commander, your 100 is basically decided, right? No, you have a bit of freedom in what goes in there, which is good, because this is something I would definitely want to reflect. Deck building is my favorite part of card games, right? Figuring out all the weird stuff that goes together, that's fun to me, right? And I don't want to take that away from people as much as I can. Now, there are some games where the deck building clause, like the thing saying you can only put these cards in deck, is a little too specific. So a while back, I used to play this game called Cardfight Vanguard. I was thinking of getting back into it. I haven't really looked into it. But in the early days of Vanguard, at least what it was like for the first 2 main series, each card belonged to one of 24 clans in the in-game world, right? And each clan kind of specialized in their own thing. You had Kagero, that was very good at like getting rid of things on your opponent's board. You had Angel Feather, which had to do with healing and using damage as a resource. You had Aqua Force, which was good at multiple attacks by smaller creatures, or units as they were called, right? And that is fine and all, but the problem with that comes in that 24 is like, that's a lot of categories to break the cards into, right? It's limiting in a sense, because each clan is only good at doing one thing. Different archetypes in the clan are just going to be different spins on that one thing, and you can't cross them over, right? You can't mix the control potential of Kagero with the multi-attacks of Aquaforce. They are stuck in their own worlds, in their own decks. There's no crossover. So, while I did like Vanguard, I always found that aspect a little limiting. And then, somewhat recently, I think it was, is it 5 years ago now? It was a while ago. They switched over to the D series, and instead of the 24 clans, they went to the 6 nations each clan belonged to. So now everything in your deck didn't have to be in the same clan, it had to be in the same nation, right? And I was like, okay, that opens up deck building so much, right? Because now you can cross over. But then they did this thing where it was like, every card was like, if your Vanguard, basically your leader or avatar card, is this, then do this, right? It was a lot of cards that were very specific to one deck and could not be placed anywhere else. And it was like, that is so counterintuitive. It's like you've opened up the deck building so much by making the category so much more generic, so much more beneficial, and then it's like, you're still limiting, you're very archetypal. That's fine and all. That's the identity of your game. I don't really get to complain about it. It's just, I don't agree with it, which is why I don't want to do it. So, yes, we need a generic category, and if we, wow, my arm is messed up already. We need a generic category, and we need something that will allow us to split the cards in a way that is appropriate and just doesn't limit deck building. That is the phrase I am looking for. So yeah, that is what I'm gonna work on. Okay, so they have their own effects. I'm also okay. There are some games where the leaders are like have different win cons. Maybe, perhaps, I don't know. Yeah, LibGen and his archive card? Oh, maybe. Oh, okay, so like a resources thing. Perhaps. I do not mind that idea. Okay. Differences between faculties and departments make sense. Like basically the question I'm asking here is, at the end of the day, when I make these two decks, how much of the Filson deck can go into the Business Daddy deck, and vice versa, right? That's kind of my big thing, because it's like these decks should not be entirely interchangeable, right? There should still be a very distinct identity to them, but the identity shouldn't be so solid that the player cannot put themselves in it. I think, at least. That is my philosophy going into this. I don't know. But yes, let's think about that. Okay. And if you can't tell by I've played a lot of card games, like a lot. I I meant it with very little I meant it with very little exaggeration during my debut, where if it has trading card game in the name, I have probably played it. So I'd like to think I have a good well of knowledge to draw from here. I am also drinking water because I'm going to be talking a lot. Okay, let's... Before we get into card types, we should get into, like, just the actual rules of the game. How do you win? Alright? Is this a life points to 0 type beat? Is it a meet a certain condition kind of thing? Yeah, no, I am thinking... Okay, it's interesting, because I agree Philson should probably be a bit slower, but it's like... I'm also thinking, like... These two, like, they scream control deck to me. Like, neither of them are... I don't think either of them are incredibly fast decks. Unless Business Daddy is, like a very aggressive stock trader, which... I don't know. This image might be implying. I'm gonna have to ask Mo about that. Yes. Okay. I'm going to make a very obscure reference here. However, I really like it as a direction. So there's a free-to-play Japanese game, right? Called Kagami no Majoritiya. Business Daddy probably ramp? Oh, I can... yeah, okay. Maybe. But back to the point. So there's a very obscure Japanese game called Kagami no Majoritiya, which is... It's a language deciphering game where, like, you're playing a card game you do not know the rules to. So the language deciphering is all the, like, the lingo and like, the jargon within the game. And the rules, too. And basically, it's actually very well made as a card game as well. And one of the rules I really liked in that was, there were 3 ways you could win the game, right? There was getting your opponent's life points to 0, getting 0 cards in deck, you lose, right? Those 2 are standard. But then every deck had a witch card. That was like your avatar, right? It was your leader. And every witch card had this thing called a Big Bang, which was a win condition, essentially. Right, some were like, fill up your board with everything and you win the game. Others were like, if the first creature you summon in the game survives 3 turns, then you win, or things like that, right? And I really liked how those Big Bangs were designed and interacted with each other, because you got to see different witches fight each other, and I think that was fun. And I almost feel like that's kind of a direction I want to go, because obviously graduating from the faculty or the Department of Philosophy and graduating from BD School of Business, those are very different experiences, right? So I feel like, rule-wise even, each leader should kind of come attached with some kind of rule, or if we can, a win con. So, I'm gonna make a very crappy version of, like, a card text. Make your opponent graduate. Or make yourself... Okay, no, I mean, graduating is a good thing, though. So I think, yeah, actually, the objective of the game could be to make yourself graduate. That could be one of the wins, actually. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. At least that's good terminology for it. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing this. So every leader has a graduate. Yeah, okay. Every leader has a graduate condition where, if met, the player wins game. Now, that's going to take a lot of balancing. Like, a lot of balancing. But I do like that. Now, the other question is, do you have life points? Can you murder the opponent to stop them from graduating. I'm not sure if I like that implication. But, okay. I'm gonna take a very big swig of water because I have been talking all day and my throat is very dry. Give me a moment. Okay. Okay. I love making my opponent drop from course. It's kind of what it's gonna be, huh? It's credit hours for life points. Yeah, I was thinking like credits as either life points or enter chat. Yes. Yeah. I was thinking like credits for life or for like a mana or a resource, right? It could be that, like, credits isn't a resource that's spent, right? It's like something that's accumulated. Do you pay money to play the cards? Like, is tuition a resource in this game? Oh, man, I'm hurting myself. That's kind of a thought. I do kind of like the idea of there is the possibility of graduate. Yeah, perhaps credits as life points. Imagine being able to spend your extra credits. You could, yeah, no, it's like you want to. I think this game wants to like encapsulate the student experience in each of these respective faculties and programs, but you also want to like fantasize it a bit. So, you know, as much as I think making money like a resource that you spend to play cards is funny, it's a little depressing. And that also, you know, it's like, how do you generate money? Easy. Work. Scholarships. Oh, scholarship is a ramp card, isn't it? Oh, no, that makes so much sense. Oh. Oh, no, tuition. Oh, no, tuition makes the most sense as a spendable resource to get credit hours, to get credits, which are an accumulative resource that let you unlock more things. Ah, that makes so much sense. Wait. Yeah, and what if I need to spend resources to complete courses? Each course grants a different amount of resources and a different amount of credits. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So, okay, I'm gonna touch up on courses as a thing. So courses, I feel like they're functionally like enchantments in Magic, in the sense that like they're permanents that they stay on board, they have everlasting effect. Can you destroy a course? Oh my god, the term for destroy in this game is drop, isn't it? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna start a separate text box for terminology. Yeah, destroy being dropped makes a lot of sense. Terminology, destroy equal drop. That makes sense, right? Budget cut equal course destroyed. Oh god, that's brutal. Courses are probably like the class cards they introduced to Forgotten Realms. Possibly, yeah. Like a class card or like maybe a saga kind of beat. Do you beat courses just no? There probably has to be a condition. Okay. Okay, no, we're getting something. So destroy is drop. You know, this is also a reason to bring the word library back to refer to decks. Right? I know, like, even no one who plays Magic calls it their library anymore, but we have a library. That makes sense. It's Students make friends, love relates, plus life points. Possible. I'm still considering if we should add prof students as card types. Just because that can get a little personal. Perhaps too personal. Okay. And also, like, okay, we still have to get to, like, the very base rule here. Of, like, can you interact with your opponent? How does a turn work? So start game, you reveal avatars. You start with X cards in hand. You draw a card. You play courses. You do things to... Oh... Wait a minute. Give me a minute. Oh, ooh, okay, there's an idea. It's scratching on my brain. I need to reset my position. Give me a minute. I need to emote properly for this stream. It's... Okay, so yeah, I have an idea here. It's just needs to come out. Yeah, you play student to give you resources. Yeah, I was almost kind of thinking like students can be characterized, right? Like profs are actual. It's hard to make that a card type without it being an actual person, right? Students, however, there are very stereotypical students, right? And I'm sure each faculty and program comes with its own stereotype of students. Yes, okay. I'm okay with that. I'm more okay with that. So students are like your creatures, I guess. Do the students fight each other? No, that doesn't seem right, does it? Though, yeah, okay, right. You can also advance a student to make them do more stuff. That makes sense, too. Okay, yeah, so students are like a creature. Students are like a creature in a bunch of games. Oh, the deck itself is your school life, and drawing the last card is finishing your college life. Interesting. That would kind of make the best interactions in games simply drawing more cards, or students versus course assignments. I think that makes sense. Okay. Haha. Let me, okay. I'm thinking of two games here. I'm thinking of Duel Masters and Fire Emblem Cypher. These are both games with either evolution cards or like higher... I could just say Pokemon, that makes sense too. But these are both games with like evolution cards and like higher ranks of existing characters, so it's like having a first year variant of a student card evolve into a second... Okay, that's kind of... Yeah, that's a little funny. That's a possible. Yeah, okay, so like evolve, progress, maybe, and then, okay, yeah, okay, so if this is, because right now, this game could be played as solitaire, right? It's one person trying to meet their condition. How do you get in the way of your opponent's condition? What thematically makes sense? Yeah, I guess, okay, I guess, like, I was almost thinking, like, okay, if this is a very big if, right? If we do prof cards, I figured they're, like, planeswalkers, maybe? Like, I don't know, something with big generic effects that could, like, benefit creatures or students as a whole. You know, I guess if we really want to make this a framing device, can give your opponents work. Okay. Okay. I need to consult with Mo on this to make this solidify, right? But like, yeah, sabotaging other students isn't a student's goal. But I was thinking like, what okay, like presumably, these are people, right? They're personified versions of faculties and programs, but like they are people that exist in a world, right? And if we are framing this as they're the avatars, the leaders of the decks in conflict with each other, right? And they're competing to meet their own graduate or win condition. Do they just kind of magically... Like, do they have beef? Do they magically get in the way of each other? Maybe. Maybe. That's not an impossibility. Yeah, okay. We need to step away from rules for a moment. We need lore, actually. Let's like, I wish Mo was in chat right now. But she is probably busy. So, okay, we gotta think of this as like, presumably, you know, presuming there are many more of these. Why do they fight? Yeah, STEM versus arts and various school events for funding. Oh, okay. No, I see it. Is that it's hard to partition students and trolling cards in a way that optimal is, and 100% students are M% trolling. That's true, but we will get to that problem later. Why do you fight? Why do you have beef? Do you hate each other? No, you don't. You might. But school events for funding, maybe. Says you're gonna see me have this lean for a bit. But okay. Are they gods? No, that doesn't make sense. You know, it could kind of fall under this weird category of like, what am I thinking? Yeah, I want to graduate faster than you, and I'm willing to do anything faster to graduate than you. So I will employ... What is a thing? What is this? What is a somewhat university themed thing? I'm essentially just kind of trying to think of like, how do we frame combat, if there is any? Do the students fight each other? That's kind of what it's leading to. Honestly. It is kind of just leading to the students fighting each other. No. It's not them. I do like the idea of an extra deck, but that may be a supplementary rule. There could... okay, but it could be like if we're thinking stat-wise, right? And I'm leaning way down. But okay, it could be stat-wise, like instead of like toughness and power or like attack and defense. What are the stats? Could they be fighting each other with just like... I got it. Oh, okay. I have idea. Anyone here play Battle Spirits? Okay. Battle Spirits is this very interesting game where they have this resource called cores, right? The easiest way to explain them, easiest way to explain it is they're like +1/+1 counters in Magic, but they're also mana, right? I'm thinking that's what credits can be. Battle Spirit's mentioned? Oh, we have a Battle Spirit player. Wonderful. Yes, but yes, it's... Yeah, so like, course cards generate credits, right? which can then be put on student cards to make them stronger. And when in conflict, the student with more credits wins, I guess? Is that what we're competing here? I feel like that kind of makes sense. Okay, yeah, you get attacked then lose your credit. The HoloLens Perform Arts. Right. I've actually... Okay, you know what? Congratulations, you have found a trading card game I actually have not played. I have looked into the HoloLive TCG, but I have not played it. But yes, okay. So I'm thinking lore. This this is each faculty's leader, or each program's leader, gathering their strongest army of students who gain more power the more credits they have. It's dumb, but I like it. I might go with that for now. Okay, so... Okay, yes. Credits make stronger. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Credits would be like Helix Pinnacle, where you accumulate until you win. You see, that thought did go through my mind, but it's like, I feel like accumulating a certain number of, don't know if you like single number combat systems. Yeah, that's a fair point. Huh. I mean, what? I'm trying to think. Games with single number combat systems. Magic's 2, Yu-Gi-Oh's 2, Vanguard is 1. Buddy Fight was 3. Yeah, I think, like, accumulation of credits can be part of each leader's graduate condition, but, like, I don't think it should be the only thing. Because then, really, your optimal strategy is to just keep generating credits forever, right? Yes, exactly, yeah. Spending credits to get more credits, right? So that's reflective of the experience, right? The more credits you have, the easier it is to get more. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. V-Card TCG is a single number, but that one is not to be played seriously. Good to know. One Piece is... Oh, One Piece is one as well, I just realized. Huh. Alright. Yeah, okay. So far we have... Leaders have win conditions, or avatars if we're calling them. True. This is why we got a graduation. Okay. So leaders have graduate conditions, which win games. Courses generate credits, which can then be put on students who are doing the surrogate combat. Credits make them stronger. And they each have effects. Yeah, okay. Does this game have tapping or blocking or any kind of that concept? What are you attacking even? I didn't think about that. You can attack other students. Okay, I'm trying to think. Games with attacking. Magic, you always attack the player. Vanguard, you can choose to attack the other guys. Duel Masters, you attack the player unless there is a block creature with the blocker ability. One Piece, you attack the leader, right? Yes, I think. Yeah, okay. What is the implication of a student being dropped? Is that death or like a... Oh my god, it's dropping out of the program. Oh. Man, okay, we're getting dark. Anyway. Yeah, okay. Okay, so if credits is a resource, right, that you can do to make things, I'm almost partial to the money being a cost to play cards. That could just be a no-cost thing if we want to go in like a Yu-Gi-Oh direction. Is that wise? I do not know. Is that wise? Am I cooking? Am I cooking, Phil-san? Could be courses that are cleared by attacking them. That could make sense. Perhaps. Brain feels like one student a turn. You see, we could kind of bake those things into the avatars as well. Where it's like, this avatar has like a very hard to meet graduate condition, but they can play, you know, more than one thing in one turn. Or like have a different, maybe, I don't know, maybe Phil-san draws 2 cards every upkeep. Who knows? It's no, that's far too powerful. That's Pot of Greed every turn. Oh wow, yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. So it should. Okay. So presuming, right? Going under the assumption that students can be destroyed, dropped, and they go to some graveyard-like location. What is the implication of bringing them back? Or does a student have to go into, like, a mental health break and recover? Do they get banished to home? Yeah, Yeah, So, We're up to 24, okay, we're growing. It's... Okay. Yeah, okay, so... the graveyard... I'm just gonna call it the recovery zone. As I feel that may be appropriate. Okay, whatever. When can you drop your life savings on this game? If we get it monetized, period. I don't know if this gonna get approved. But yes. So... let's think. Let me think. There's so many things we can do here. So is graduate the only win condition? Or is there something you can do? Well, I mean, obviously, like... LO library out milling. That's... drawing 0 is probably a loss as well. Is there a life total? Of some kind? Okay, thought. Your life total is your funds. You can you can expend funds to play cards. But that also brings you closer to death. You can, like, if you fund yourself to 0, you lose. Maybe. Weird. Interesting. Interesting. Herm. Because you're playing as these guys, right? Playing as... What do you say, Phil-san? ヒデさん、答えお願いします。Yeah, which is... It's kind... Alternate win con of just getting enough tuition funds. Okay, so I'm gonna think of this in like gameplay loop terms, right? Let's make another frame. Gameplay. Yeah, it's funds as health concept. Yeah, true. Okay. So right now, the part of the loops that we have, right, are basically play course, right? Play course to play course, make credit, use credit on card, credit for cards for students, and that's kind of as far as we got, right? So that goes into that. That goes into that, right? Which goes into that. I should not have used the pen tool for this, but you know what? We live. So it's not quite looping yet, in a sense, right? And currently the way the exit to loop is graduate, right? Graduate condition. It's graduate condition. So I could just make a circle. That's probably wise. Hello, ellipse. Sure, I don't need you to have a fill. I do need you to have a stroke. No. Thank you. Where are you? Scooby-Doo. No. Alright, so we need... It's what? We got play course, make credit, use credit for students. So, okay, so courses generate resources to be used on students, and then students can be used to either what? So there's kind of an overlapping loop here. I now notice. So you have this loop, right? And then you also have the student loop, right? Which is use credit for students, and then like use students to use students to deter opponents, right? Right, so like at some point students have to do hung. Very hurring. Yeah, use students to deter opponents. What's the loop of a creature in Magic? You pay mana, summon creature, use effects, which usually help you win the game. Creature gets destroyed. So, and then either do it again next turn or creature gets destroyed. Yeah. So this is not a loop at all, in fact. It is a line. A back and forth line. So it's... How do you play a course? It's in your hand. Can you just put the course down? Do you have to pay credits to use courses? Does that make sense? Because if that's the case, then how do you generate credits in the first place? Unless that is baked into a leader ability or some, like, upkeep rule where you just get free resources at the start of each turn. Or... Hung. Generate work attack of the student's work is used to play course for credits. Need credits to win. Yeah, that's solid. First place student. I'm almost out of water already. Man, I was thirsty. So it's like... And credits for students. Students to deter opponent. Okay, yes. Got it. 3 win conditions. So... Let's go back to graduate condition here. So the graduate condition, I'm going to change the terminology here a little bit. So games have life in the sense that if life ticks down to 0, you lose, right? We're essentially doing the opposite here. Credits tick up to win. Though now that begs the question of my SFU knowledge. Do different programs require different credit numbers to graduate? I don't think so, right? Yep, 120 units regardless. Okay. Okay. So in that case, 120. That's just how many... That's just the max number of credits you need to accumulate to win. That's like the ceiling, right? So like, you can have, like, big credit-generating life-gainy decks. Yeah, okay. Okay. And then you have the alternate grad condition. Some kind of other thing you can meet to win the game early. Yes. I'm going to go with that for now. Sure. Only weird one is education. I didn't know that, actually. Okay. Yes. Yeah, okay. So, taking a page out of Majoriti's book, 3 win conditions. One is just to get to a certain number. The other is to get opponents' cards to 0, in the sense that they are out of things to do. And then one is to meet your own unique win condition. Okay. I'm good with that. Still doesn't solve the resources problem a little bit in the sense of, can you play cards? Are credits just your general resource? That does kind of create an interesting kind of tension there, where it's, you need credits to win, but you're also expending credits. It's kind of, this is a weird analogy, but like, it's kind of like Cookie Clicker in that sense. Where you're expending cookies to make more cookies. That's... Yeah, that is what this is, huh? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. You probably have to assign students to courses, huh? Okay. Have idea. Okay. So every leader has a baked-in credit gain of some kind, right? Or it's you know, at the start of your turn you gain 1 per se, or 2 or 3 or whatever, and then you spend those to play cards that will generate you more credits. Oh, thank you for bringing up Touchpoint. Actually, yes, people going to Touchpoint, go to Touchpoint, please. It is a great conference. If I were a designer, I would totally go. Yes, okay. So what does a leader card need? Leader card needs credit total doesn't change. It needs baked in credit generation. That's kind of its unique thing. It needs its graduate condition. And it needs maybe an ability to help it. The ability or the graduate condition might be an either or, but yeah. You know what? I'm gonna start with that. I think there's enough of this in my head, I think, that I can actually start making cards. I think. And we can sort of BS things here and there. Yeah. No, no. Should I mull rules more? That feels like cheating. You know what? I have a feeling we're probably not going to finish either of these decks tonight. This may be something I'd save for another stream. But we will get as far as we can because it has been 70 minutes and I have not made a singular card. Wow. Okay. Also, wow, my arms are messed. Okay. Give me a minute. And chat's covering my things, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna move you guys around a little bit. But now I'm covering chat. I can move myself over. Yeah. It's about right. Okay. Yes, identity of the student, agreed. Omae wa dare da? Teka, omae wa nan nan da? Yes, okay, you know, that was the plan. I was just gonna make magic proxies, if I'm gonna be honest. I was like, that's boring. I'll make whole game. This is more reflective of, like, average CAT project in game. Don't worry, I am confused too. Oh no, I'm sorry, chat. Okay. Okay. Okay, so courses as credit generators make sense. Students, what do students do? What do students do? Do they fight? Again, this game needs to be interactive, right? There's no point in making a solitaire thing. I mean, okay, there is an audience for that, but that's not what we're trying to do. Can you steal credits? Is that something you can... Is that something you can do? Maybe. Maybe. Do shiyou. Hai, do shiyou. Hey. Studento. This is gonna require so much art. Yeah, stealing credits would be weird. Is that... Okay. This is going to require so much art from Mo. Or other artists that we commission. If I ever do get somewhere with this. De 単性でしょで完全にクリーチャーとして捉えるか。Oh, do I take a page from Marvel Snap's book? Maybe. Very maybe. In the sense that you place students on courses. Am I winning, son? Hello, Mo. I have not touched your art yet, no worries. Wait, okay, so you place students... Well, I mean, I was kind of thinking that, you know, am I going to be leaning back? Well, okay, I need to lean right now, okay? This is my focus mode. But yeah, I was thinking Philson Business Daddy as leaders. Boit. Huh. Let me, okay. You place students on courses. Courses can generate credits based on the number of students and other conditions on there. Students need types, don't they? Yeah, student needs types. Student need types. True, Mo, you haven't changed any of your icons yet, if I recall. Yeah, if we're thinking Marvel Snap-ish things, courses are like stadiums almost, or field spells. Courses are like field spells. Okay. I don't know why my mind went to Bakugan, but okay, I guess that's a card game too. Okay. I need to draft up a board here. Yes, let's draft up a board. Are courses their own separate deck? Maybe. Okay. Idea. Okay, so let's say this is board, right? How many at a time? All right, chat. Quick question: on average, how many courses do you take per semester, or did you? If you're already done with that. Or no. Sorry. I'm still gonna ask, but. Oh, okay. Gears are turning. Okay. This is worth testing. This is worth a first iteration, I think. 4, 5, 3, 3, 4. Okay. 3. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. So let's say 3, 4, 12 hours total. Okay. So. Okay. So we have. I'm just gonna say that these. Wow, this is gonna be the world's worst mock-up. Okay, can I get close to the SFU red? Maybe. I'm back. Is Faye winning yet? I'm still not winning, Mo, but I might be getting there. So let's say these are leader cards, right? Now I think we can as a part of each leader's identity, we can say that, oh my god, that is the mog. Course number, right? Basically, like, let's say this is course number 3. Well, this is like, oh, what the hell? Yeah. We can playtest and I will beat you. I am counting on it. And this is like course number 4, right? And then that creates, basically course zones, if that makes sense, right? SFU read oh my god, we do have the hex code for that. I didn't need to be super specific, but you know what, we might. Okay. So basically, so this leader gets 3 course zones, while this leader gets 4. Sure. Yeah, okay. Okay, no, this may be a horrible, horrible balance thing, but I do like the direction I'm going, so I'm going to continue rolling in it. And if it's a bad idea, chat, you can tell me I told you so later. You may. I'm not stopping you, Mo. But for now, the objective of this stream is to make starter decks for Philson and Business Daddy. But yes, otherwise you may. And then so, okay, not forcing anyone. So yes, so different leaders get different numbers of course zones, which you can designate with course types, which you can then put students on. But you can, hey, listen, Ant, I don't like Figma either. I know designer. It's just, I figured this was better to okay, small rant. Streaming Adobe software sucks. Oh man, there's really no way around it. It's just too many windows pop up, and so like, OBS doesn't like it. I don't like it, so we're gonna go to Figma because this is easier, and also in the event that I need to share this with Mo, it is also easier. Yes, so course zones let you define courses, and then you can put your students on it to generate credits. Students can have effects that expend credits and do other things. Yeah, okay. Okay. And then a course can be completed. So, okay, so a course card has... Okay. Getting tired of these saga, like, that's the goal, Maya, that's the goal. Okay, yes, okay. Yeah, I would rather not stream my desktop. It's incredibly cluttered as well, so, so yeah, okay, so if we can do the, so course zones designate courses which can have students placed on them. You can use your opponent's course zones as well if they benefit you. Students can have effects that expend credits to do things, such as alter which courses are on board, as well as mess with the number of students on the others. So I guess some students are making some students drop. That's an interesting implication. I mean, hey, when I say a quick rant, it's a quick rant. It's... You don't want to be around for a long one. That would probably take a whole stream, if I'm going to be honest. Okay, so then the question is, do you have a course deck? Is that like a plane chase thing? I think you have a course deck. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's designate normal deck and course deck, right? I feel like I'm finally getting somewhere. 75 minutes into stream. Am I saying there's a long grant stream in the future? If that is what the people want, absolutely. Have I seen Mo's WebP crash out? Yes, I have. I mean, I was kind of lurking when it happened, but yes. Oh boy. I mean, Mo can have the Rainbow Dash stream. It seems that is something. Let's just make this a generic, like, I'm going full RGB. Schedule and tell me when. I mean, I don't know. I don't got too many good things to rant about right now in this given moment, I think. So we can do, like, so blue is course deck, and then, like, green is your everything else deck. No, PowerPoint night stream, we could. That still brings me the problem of I need something to rant about. Which I'm sure I could. I need to get more water. I will do that later. Yeah, so... Power-ups and enchantments. I am think. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so, and then the things in your everything deck are students, and then I feel like there kind of needs to be, like, it can't just be about the people in. It can't just be the people in the courses. It needs to be things that happen, right? Concepts. Midterms, crunch times, things that could be turned into the equivalents of sorcery as an instance. Could just call them events, but I feel like that's a bit of a cop-out. But no, okay, I will get back to that later. That's more of a name thing. That's easy enough to justify. So it's courses generate credits for you. Yeah, courses generate credits, and then putting students on them lets you generate credits. And then you can complete a course to, like... Completing a course lets you remove it from the course zone, and you can put it somewhere to gain a permanent buff. That's not how... Yeah, maybe. Completing a course should remove it. The matter is, what's the reward for that? Is it just a bunch of credits, but they're already generating that? Okay, let's do... I'm gonna do the completing courses grants advantages thing. Then in that case, I'm not sure if there should be a dedicated course deck, because then you can just overload your course deck, however large it is, with good courses. No, but no, I feel like you should have a completed courses zone. I would like that. True. Very true. Okay, so we'll do like a weird transparent yellowy, that's vomit. Sure. We'll do that. And down the opacity a bit. That's like a... Nope. Bop. So that's like a completed courses zone. You can... Getting higher the win condition? Not right now, it could be. Yeah, okay, I do kind of like this. I do like the layout right now. It feels appropriate. Well, I mean, right now the win condition is graduate. But yes, it's... Yes. So, okay. I need more water. I will be back. Okay, water required. We're back. So, and why are we talking about the OnlyFans ending? That would be Business Daddy's endgame. Okay, good to know. I will reflect that in his unique graduate condition. Actually, Mo, while I have you here, could you give me, the quick rundown on both Philson and Business Daddy? Just summarize what you talked about in stream as best you can. What is there to run down? Just... I don't know, general character traits that are not present on this sheet. 25-8 grind set hustler? Okay, good to know, yeah. Is he not stonks, though, based on this? Okay. No, I'm Stonks portfolio, but still learning how to stonks. That makes sense. Okay, and I just see, also like tech startups, good to know. I think the water brain blasted me for a moment. Okay, I need to put this into words. Philson has depression? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. They are very gender. I can kind of see that, yes. Okay. Okay. I have many idea. It would almost be funny if there was a leader with course number 1 and they only had one course. Basically the green text about the guy reading Plato on the subway. Good to know. Okay. Okay, okay. So, kind of taking everything into account. Business daddy is a state of mind and not locked to gender. Okay. Good. Good to know, good to know. Okay, so taking all that into account, I actually think... Okay, so what we're going right now here is... Each leader comes with 3 things. They come with a designation for course numbers, in the sense of how many course stones they have. 2, their unique graduation condition, a condition that other than the thing that they meet to... Sorry, my thoughts keep interrupting each other because I just had another idea. Okay, Ho. Ho, 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 ho. I understand that I'm not incredibly coherent right now, but... Okay, so... I apologize, chat. This is how I think. You're gonna get a lot of this. The game mechanics chart again. I think the game mechanics chart is going to look very different in a moment. I could write things down, but alas, I don't know if they're coherent enough in my head to be written down. Okay. Okay, so. Do courses generate credits passively, or is that when they're completed? No, there needs to be some kind of passive generation. Aha. Okay, so Philson needs Charlie Rome. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you can put students on courses. And then the students complete the courses to generate credits, right? Or no, okay, no, that can be passive. That can be passive. It's just a matter of which student is on which course. Yeah, so that means the courses and the course stones shouldn't change that frequently. That should be something that's... Right, okay, so this is where making the students like a general category of student comes into play, I think. So you can basically say putting a student on one of these, right? One of the courses is basically, so like at the start of every turn, that one of the category of students completed course, you can put that into the credits, which can be used to play the other cards, or just accumulate. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start writing things down, so perhaps this is not coherent junk in my head. Okay, you all of you perish for a moment, please. No, Frame, Figma, listen to me. Okay, what? Why is it not deleted? Hello? That deleted too much. Okay, so I will make a general game flowchart. That is what needs to happen here. And this is going to need to be a much larger frame. Vertically. Okay. So let's say start of game. I'm gonna make you a much larger block of text. Start of game. Start of game, so like setup, right? So like the start of game, obviously, shuffle decks, shuffle course decks, and then probably deal courses default. They can be changed later. Put courses on board from top of course deck into own course zones equal to number of open course zones of open course zones. Cool. And then that goes down into during turn. Why did I make a new one when I could have just copied this? Flow of a turn. Draw a card. Generate credits from leader passive plus courses X number of students. That's yeah. Use credits to play cards. Use credits to play cards, which include put students on courses. Play, I'm gonna, depending, call them event cards for all the other generic things. Play event cards. You can also use them to activate abilities of cards on field. Okay. Yes. And then eventually you can pass turn. We can work on specific game states later. And then end of game. End of game. Okay, end of game. The game ends when one of three things happens. A player accumulates 120 credits. That player wins. A player draws the last card in their deck. That player loses. A player meets their leader's graduate condition. Graduate condition, that player wins. Okay, so that's general flow of turn. So the only thing is credits here. So basically, now we go back to the loop here, which is I need stroke and no fill. So really the loop here is Generate credits. Generate credits. Play cards. Increase credit generation. Increase credit generation and generate credits, and that continues until someone meets a condition. And someone ends game. Okay, that vision is decently clear, I think. Hopefully. Okay, and then so what we can do is, I suppose that doesn't really solve our no combat. That makes sense. You can probably get in the way in other ways. Yeah, because it doesn't really make sense for students to be punching each other in the face. Okay, I'm gonna move a little bit into card design just so I can better visualize how cards may or may not look. So just what information needs to be on them. So what am I looking for? Struck. Alright. Also, what did I change? What did I change just now? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I do not want to know. I'll add a stroke. Get rid of this. So like, let's make this bigger. A leader card is easy enough, right? It's I'm gonna borrow Philson. No, I'm gonna borrow Business Daddy. It's probably easier to crop. Hello, nope, Business Daddy. Thank you, Business Daddy. I forget how you crop these things. No, I see. No, you. Hello? Other way. Hello? Okay, not what I thought. Okay. You know what? Business Daddy, you go away for a bit. So what? It's art, it's ability, it's... Is it art? It's ability? Yeah, okay, so like, let's say like it's... Basically, it's a person. Right? It's a person, and then it's like, basically... Line of text describing win condition, or graduate condition. Line of text describing any unique ability they may have. And then some number depicting the number of course zones they have. Right, okay. That's a leader card. Like, damn, 10. Am I even gonna get to designing a specific card? That's like the fun part. But no, the strenuous parts must be completed before you can get to the fun parts in these kinds of things, unfortunately. So I take one of these, and so a student card has some kind of person on it, right? Right. Probably some line of text describing a student type. right? So like student type, and then effect, and then probably number in a different corner for credit cost. Yes. And at this point, they don't have any combat stats, but honestly, combat just may not need to be a thing. Maybe. Yeah, essentially, like, you would get in the way of your opponent by, like, stealing courses, right? Yeah, okay, so... Completing a course puts it in your completed course zone, right? Which then makes it so that it passively generates credits only for you. So that means each course card needs a complete condition, where it basically becomes yours. So that's what you're vying control. Is this sort of like a Civ 6? I haven't played any of the Civilization games. Interesting. Okay. And then we can go. Let's make a course card. Yes, no, exactly, Vijay. That's exactly what I'm thinking. You are allowed to complete the opponent's courses. That's what that is what you're vying control over. So you can put students on their courses. So in some cases, having only one course zone for you isn't necessarily a bad thing. Competitive school. Yes, that's exactly what this is. So a course card has some sort of funky art on it, right? I don't know what the funky art is, but it's funky art. Is that academic dishonesty? Is completing someone else's course academic dishonesty? Also, I'm rotated, aren't I? Whatever. It makes more sense if I'm facing... No, actually, my arms are the bigger problem. Give me a minute. There we go. Yeah, okay. Now I'm back in front facing. I think. So, okay. So it has some kind of art on it. It has like it has text on it, obviously, right? Right, this and it could be like some kind of... Yes, exactly. You're completing a course you don't major in. It's an elective. So you can it's probably designed where like so like student types can be like, you know, like specific to programs and such. So you have those students will help complete courses faster probably or better. But that's not stopping you from sniping courses if you can. I think yeah. Okay. The idea is that courses aren't necessarily specific to you. Like, I think in the layout it's basically like so like yeah, this you bring your own course deck, right? You get to handpick what courses you get to go in here, right? Oh, you know what? Mo, you just given me an idea. Courses should have student limits. You can't put an infinite amount of students on a course. So, okay, it's going to have a number saying how many students are allowed to be on it, period. Right? Okay. And then it's going to have conditions for its completion. Yeah. Course could have multiple completion conditions, and each side can clear one each. I will consider that, but I think for this first iteration we're going to go only one. Just to, in a sense, to make it somewhat competitive as you're trying to you know, manage things right. So okay, so you'll have a completion condition, and then maybe like a credit generation amount. So this is something that needs 2 numbers. Ceiling doesn't seem right. Fair. But I feel like at some point, or no, the framing device is important. But perhaps stealing isn't the right word. And we're looking for because yeah, the courses are resources. Like, there needs to be something that we're... Call it having a late enrollment date. I guess, okay, we're kind of... I guess we can kind of frame it as, like, claiming a course, if that makes sense, right? Each leader is sending students in to complete these courses, and some condition is meant so that they claim it, so it's no longer like an object of competition, and they get to put it in their like claimed courses zone, not completed course. Claim condition. Let's say claim condition. Yeah, that's our framing device here. These two are sending in their army of students to claim as many courses in their name as possible, both in their own programs and in the other guy's program. I think that may be something we could do. Okay, so. In that case, yeah, so claim condition, max course. Honestly, okay. If we're being really, really technical here, card games and board games are, like, the same thing. I would argue it is. They're both genres of analog games. Like, how do I put this? Because there are, like, products that are advertised as board games that are really just... There's no board. It's all cards, right? I've played a wonderful board game. It's called Boss Monster, right? It's fun. It's cool. Yeah. But it's... Essentially both what a card game and a board game does is it's... How do I put it? They are simulating something on an analog surface, right? You're simulating some kind of combat, some kind of conflict, some kind of game using physical live pieces, whether that be cards, pieces, tokens, boards, whatever, right? Now, if this feels more like a board game right now, that is understandable. That is kind of the direction, in a sense, it is veered in. However, I am going to trust in this iteration for this stream because it has been a while, right? So, if this iteration crashes and burns, that is a totally stupid, terrible idea. That is fine. That is part of the process. But for now, we'll roll with it. I don't think we need dice yet. If at all. Hopefully we do not need dice. Okay. And then finally, I'll just... Okay, get card types. Where are you? That's some kind of text. Just want to mention the similarities. Cool enough. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think, like, just have dice anyway. Okay. At some point, there has to be a gambling leader. I feel like it's what the people want. But then again, that begs the question, what program in SFU is most appropriate to have a gambling aspect to it? Wait, is it Stonks? Is it Stonks? Is BD the dice deck? Oh, stats would make sense. Stats would make sense too. Okay, I'm just gonna put these here. Okay, of course. And no, I forgot that it. Figma, man. Leader is declared at the beginning of the game. It's not part of your deck. It has passive effects, and it's also going to define your win condition. And it's also probably going to have its own little ability or something, which is okay. There is enough rule here now for me to actually start making cards and fine-tuning later. Okay, let's make card. Okay, which now means we have to start defining deck identities, I think. Let's start. Okay, do we start with Phil Sound or Business Daddy? Is there a preference? I can just grab one. Yeah, I guess Business Daddy it is. We got one vote for Business... Okay, we got 2 votes for Business Daddy. I guess Business Daddy it is. Okay. Let me bring Business Daddy over and let me remember how to crop things in Figma. Because I know it's possible. I've done it before. Oh, it's right here. Yes, that makes sense. Okay. We're just gonna grab the top half of you, Business Daddy. 3 votes for Business Daddy. Okay, Business Daddy it is. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna grab right there. I assume I hit enter. Okay. Okay. So the identity of the Business Daddy deck. Actually, before I start this, I should ask, has anyone in chat taken a business course? Because I have not. I have no idea what they're like. I have absolutely zero frame of reference for how business works. Which is probably why I was a grad student. But that is not relevant. Oh, okay. We do have... Okay, thank you. You've taken one. Wonderful. You are our contact. You're the person on the inside. So the identity of the business... Okay, let's brainstorm first. The identity of the Business Daddy deck, right? Okay. The identity of the Business Daddy deck... one idea we had was gambling, stonks, right? In the sense that it's a lot about rolling dice. right? That could be one way to do it. Swap pastel, 4P analysis, terminal, and selling pitches. Right, that's the other thing, right? Is obviously selling things, right? Selling cards? Selling cards? It's yeah. Highly competitive and aggressive. That makes sense. I don't know what aggro would look like in this game yet, but it's possible. Yeah, okay. So, trying to think. What's okay, given the rules we have now, what's like a fun extra win condition to this? Right. Self-claimed core slots to the claimed core slots to the opponents for funds. Oh, interesting. Oh no, that's interesting. So like trading. Yeah, no. So trading some resource for extra credits. Well, extra credits wouldn't necessarily make sense. Oh, it could be like, I don't know if I want to add an extra concept to this game already, but like, could be like energy from Magic, right? Which is just another unique resource to be expended that can only be generated by things. But yeah, something about selling trading. I feel like there's something in there. Or investing? This isn't a win condition, but it's like an ability you could go, you know, put one of your credits on this guy, and the next turn that it increases by however amount. Econ. Oh man, maybe I should have taken a business course. Would Business Daddy scam? That is a question for Mo that I cannot answer. Because selling cards for credits doesn't necessarily make sense. Because if there was... Or would it? You think Business Daddy could be a crypto grifter? Okay. Okay. Wouldn't be very nice. True. To make the unique resource of crypto? No, that's not a very starter deck concept. But it would be accurate. It would be very accurate. Interesting. Okay, let's think. So we can do... Trying to think. I mean, the default thing that comes to my mind is just aggressive card draw. Like a trade ability, you know, discard one card, draw two, right? That's classic. Crypto counters. I don't know if I want to delve into that, but... Okay, actually, Mo, oh, do we have some? He would come up with a startup entrepreneurship concept that he generally believe is a good idea, but is actually a scam he doesn't realize. I see. Okay, I feel like now we're just starting to drag business students in the chat, which perhaps we should not do. Okay. So in that case, I am thinking... Could he just flip the lose condition? Flip. I also had to think of how many cards in a deck and how many cards in a course deck. Ugh. I mean, traditionally 60, right? That's usually how card games work. Does this game justify having 60? I've played games with 52 card decks before. I was gonna say Philson might have been easier to start with, but I also don't think that is true. Okay, so just looking at Business Daddy, right? Let's look at what Mo said. He's a 25/8 grind set hustler. Has a stonks portfolio, but learning how to stonks. Also likes tech startups. Business Daddy is a state of mind, which is not locked to gender. Sniping courses. That's what I said. He would be a crypto grifter and would go to startup with ideas he believes is good. Interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's think. Or I think. Perhaps it is too late to realize that a stream of me thinking and humming and hawing may not be incredibly entertaining, but you know what? We're here, I guess. You know, it's been over 2 hours now. Okay. What is a resource that makes sense? It doesn't make sense for him to generate more credits, because that would make him the equivalent of a life gain deck. He needs to trade cards in hand for something. The only thing it makes sense to trade for is credits, but he could discard cards to generate extra credits. But that is an incredibly powerful effect. Like, super powerful. Okay, let's forget about giving leaders unique effects for now. Let's think about a graduate condition, because then we can design it. We can sort of design a deck around that. And then we can give like the whole trade aspect to the rest of the cards rather than the leader himself. Is it rolling dice? Do we make him the dice deck? Is it stonks? Or is it just... no, it's business. Selling, trading, making deals, pitching. That's kind of what we play into. I don't know, my gut instinct is to make like a self-mill deck in a sense, where you just keep drawing yourself, but I don't want to give like too much draw to just one archetype. I mean, perhaps I'm being very... Have the powers once a game. Yeah, no, that would also make sense. Again, that I can get to later. For now, I just need his unique graduate condition, and we can move to the rest of his deck. And like what kind of students you run into it, and what kind of courses, I guess. Okay. I have this. I get the feeling I'm probably not gonna get to the Philson deck, so let's try and get as far as we can with Business Daddy before I hit the end broadcast button. Okay, I'm gonna start with the selling idea. And I don't want to generate a unique resource. Now, even temporary credits that can only be used this turn are pretty good. Though I guess in a sense that goes back to, I think someone said it earlier, of like it being like a ramp deck. Actually, no, maybe temporary credits the angle? Credits that can only be used this turn? So the gameplay of that would what? You have, say, like 6 cards in hand. You ditch one to an effect, say, hey, I'm gonna generate more credits that are temporary for this turn you play. You're essentially like, it's dumping your hand, really. Right? You're dumping your hand, going all in to just like some play for your turn. And then you're kind of top deck gaming after that, unless you have more generic draw spells. That's aggressive enough. Okay, you know what? I am going to try that, and before I do, I'm going to stand forward again. But, okay. Alright. Okay, wait. I may have thought of a very dumb graduate condition here. So, if your deck is filled with cards where it's like you have students with effects that say, like, you know, did something, generate a certain amount of whatever, then you can go... Is having a certain amount of temporary credits the graduate condition, or is it something... My dumb idea was, if you have 0 cards in hand and can accurately guess the next card you draw. No, that's way too arbitrary. Yeah, generating like a big number of temporary credits in a turn could be the graduate. I'm gonna say that's what it is for now. I can test it and come back to it. Graduate condition, make X temporary credits. Okay. Cool. That's you. Let's start filling. I need to make a table because I do not have art for everything else. Can you make a table in Figma? Is that a thing you can do? I'm going to look that up. You can tell how much I use Figma based on how much I am looking things up here. Right? Oh, it's a literal plugin. Wow. Okay. Well then. I will just, okay, I'm just gonna make a list then. Okay. Perhaps this frame did not need to be this big. Bigger the better, I guess. Yes. I can organize this later. I just need ideas on paper. Okay. So let's start with a list of student cards. All right. Chat, tell me, what kind of business students exist? And don't just drag business students. I need, like, some kind of, not quite a stereotype, but an archetype I can make into a student card. Doesn't have to be business, actually. Just give me types of students. Also, I may be losing my model in a bit, but we're gonna be careful about that. Counting. Oh, yeah. Okay. Accounting, marketing. Okay, so we can say what, like accounting students, marketing students. So I think it makes sense for the marketing student to have the trait effect. Management would make sense. So I can say marketing students effect discard. It's fancy presentation type out introvert HR. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I think it makes sense for the marketing student to be the one with the cell effect, so we can say discard a card, gain X temporary credits. Alright, what would the accounting student do? Whenever you would generate temporary credits. Obviously, I'll have a couple of vanillas in this starter deck, but that can be more generic people. Whenever a card would create temporary credits, create one more or something like that. Or having family business student. Presentation, yeah, presentation student makes sense. I'll just say in the interest of making the card names sound interesting. Boastful presenter. Accounting student might or might not figure out how to legally evade. Oh, a cost reduction. A cost reduction. Yeah, oh no, I like that more. I like that a lot more. Card type. I'm gonna have to come up with card types too. Type. You play cost 1 credit less. Are there different? Are there like? Is it like mana colors? Are there different color credits? I may. Okay, I will also get to that later once I start making the Philson deck, because then that distinction becomes more important. Presenter, probably. This is the one that generates 1 credit more. This is the guy that's making the marketing student help thing. So whenever a card would make temporary credits, gain 1 more. Yeah, so very, very fast paced, very discardy, very dump handy. Presenter, who else are we starting? The startup guy. Startup. We can go startup owner. What does startup owner do? This is also a credit generating card, but the cost for creating temporary credits is different. Probably a bit more powerful, but the effect is the cost is a bit heavier. Would it be dropping your own students? Maybe, yeah. Drop students and you control. Generate, create, or gain X temporary credits where X is equal to the dropped card's cost. Yes, no, maybe. Test-worthy. Very test-worthy. Yeah. HR. Okay. This is a start deck. There doesn't need to be that many because we can manifest this with vanillas, so Do they teach HR in business? I mean, they probably do. That's a managerial thing. Probably some kind of generic draw effect, maybe. Okay, now it strikes me that I don't know any, Actually, okay, before we go to courses, because I just have not taken courses, let's go to events. What are things that can happen to a business student, other than the generic midterms and such? Stonks, I guess. Stonks, maybe? Eh. Very stonks, much wow, I hope. Networking buff? Ooh, networking. I do like networking. Networking's probably like, that's like, pitching makes sense, yeah, okay. Networking's probably like, that's like a creature search or a student search. Yeah, okay, that's so I feel like networking is look at top, say 3 cards of deck. Add a creature type, card type, student type, I should say. Student type from among them to hand, shuffle, rest. Pitch makes sense. Pitch. Flip a coin. Coin flips, baby. Taking a page from the Pokemon TCG's book here. Flip a coin. If heads, add, you know, X temporary credits. Now, so it is still the gambling deck. Add X. If tails, either do nothing or penalize. I can find introvert debuff, or data collection and product development. R&D, yeah, let's do it. Drop a student. R&D. This is an event that generates temporary credits for sure. For every student in play, generate a temporary credit? Maybe. Yeah. Student you control, gain 1 temporary credit. Okay. Then I feel like we can pitch them in with generic students and events for there. Okay. Now I ask the people who have taken business courses. What are the memorable ones? What are the notable ones? What are the famous ones? Because once again, I do not know. Also, my head is messed up. Also, oh no, I am losing my model. So, there we go. We back. I should probably look into this myself. BD School of Business. What are your courses? Of busyness. Okay, actually, no, I actually don't need to know what the courses are to write effects, do I? Yeah, okay. I can try. What are their complete conditions? One's probably just pay X credits, right? After you've generated enough, some decent amount. Another one... Does it have a generate effect? Or pay X credits to complete? Alright, obviously these want to be beneficial to you. What's something you don't mind doing when you have a lot of temporary credits? This 360W where you learn to write emails and memos itself, and it is agreed upon everyone suffers in this class. Okay, that's the hard one to beat then. Interesting. Okay. Learn to write. So what's appropriate for like an email writing course? What's like a good clear condition for that? Because it's not like we can make the player write an email. But if everyone suffers... I got it. Drop a certain amount... amount of students you control from it. And that's something that's pretty easy for Business Daddy to do, because you're generating so much extra temporary cost. Yes, okay, I like. I like. And then just one more. I mean, the generic one is like put X students on it, right? But the advantage that Business Daddy specifically likes is the effects Business Daddy likes is generating temporary costs for big payoffs, and then just kind of dumping resources on hand, being able to very consistently put stuff on board. Yep. Oh. Okay, you know what? I actually think this is a decent spot for this. Now, obviously, the next part about this is to actually make the cards, right? And create frames and design them and such. There are two hindrances to that. One is that it would require me to stream Adobe programs, which, as I explained before, is terrible. And the other is very simply, we don't have art. And that is something I would probably have to commission. Or just request from the people. With due payment. It's not like I'm paying my interns properly right now anyway, right? So I should probably get on that. And also, oh my god. My equipment is burning! Ah! Okay. I'm just gonna say one more course, and then I'm gonna step away from it, and I may consider ending stream. And I will relay to you my plan afterwards. Courses, pay X credits complete, drop a certain amount of students you control from it. I could just say X amount of students. It could just be sit on it for long enough, right? Like, have more of your students on or in this course for like 3 turns, 3 consecutive turns, starting from the 1. That's hard to track, but okay, so I think for the core of the Business Daddy deck, right? Okay. So, for the core of the Business Daddy deck, I actually think this is pretty good. Now, the next step to this, as I said, is to make cards. But at the moment, I'm a little short on the resources for that. So what I think I'm going to do is I could keep going. But I got places to be tomorrow. And I don't want to pull a Mo and be here for too long and make myself suffer. I know you've done that before, Mo. So I think I will call stream here. Basically, I'm going to tell all of you to pay attention to my socials. Because, you know, like any good card game with leaks and spoilers, I might be leaking some of these upon completion there. So, what do you... Oh, I'm sorry I value my own health, Mo. That's... Thank you. Yes. So yes, thank you all for coming to stream. For the continuation of this, either tune in next time or pay attention to my socials. There will be updates soon enough. I believe our merch link is still in the description. Buy merch if you haven't. It's cool stuff. And go to Touchpoint. Someone mentioned it. I know some people are going. Keep going. It's great. For now, thank you so much. Thank you for listening to me ramble for like 2.5 hours. I don't know if it was entertaining. I hope it was entertaining. Either way, thanks for chilling. Thanks for coming. And I will see you all whenever the next one is. I need to ask Mo about the schedule, but I think Mo's on for Mo Mondays, so be sure to check her stream out too. Alright, that's all for me. Thank you for this wonderful Faye Friday. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.